Well, Sam Altman is out as the CEO of OpenAI. So is his number two. So the co-founder and the original founder of OpenAI are out. They got fired by the board, and as the moment of this recording, we don't know why. But OpenAI is the parent company of ChatGPT, which is the focus of today's topic. So I want to talk about, the unrealistic fear of AIs replacing our jobs as developers. So there's a lot of people out there who, is like saying, oh, AI is getting too smart. It's already building applications, it's generating code for developers, and, we should be scared of it. So my argument today is against that. So there's a reason for that. So I want you to look at AI as something that's more of a tool than a replacement for us devs. So if you build any application like in the corporate world, if something requires more than like a regular landing page or a blog, you're not going to use Squarespace. You're not going to use AI to generate that. Most companies will hire development teams in order to build things like that. So that's number one. And number two is, look at AI, the tool, ChatGPT or things like that, as a companion rather than something to fear. So here's what I mean. I found this app here called TL Draw a few days ago in the Twitter world, or X. So this is a very, very interesting app. What they do is that, you can use it to draw something. And then when you, let's see, TL Draw. So when you use it to build your application, let's say. So what this does is that it uses, it creates a board, right? Like a whiteboard for you. So what you're doing is you make a mock of the app that you want to build. And then you put arrows in places like what the rule set is for that. So all you have to do is highlight it and then click on this button here. So this will talk to the new Vision API from OpenAI. The Vision language model it allows you to input an image or video as a source, and then it will output videos or images or code via that. So it's basically a way for the system to read what the image is or videos, what the videos are, and then creates outputs based on that. So what this app is, somebody built this, is basically like you create mocks. So this is very similar to Figma or things like that. Create mocks, and then you tell it that, hey, I want it to look like that, and then you highlight it and you ask ChatGPT to generate it. So what this does is really quickly, it creates this whole landing page for you really quick, right? Like it has all the system requirements that you tell it to do, and then it will, draw this thing out. There are so many examples of this. I don't have all the examples ready, but basically if you go to this TL Draw website, you can check it out, but you do need a ChatGPT token for it. So that's not the point. But this app here is what I'm saying here is that you can look at, this app is open source, by the way. So what's interesting is that here's a perfect example of using AI to help us as a tool rather than to be scared of it. So this is the source code of that website I just showed you. So what does it do? Underneath the hood, this is the actual prompt that it sends to ChatGPT to ask it to build these things for us. So if you look at the prompt, this whole app here is not so magical after all, after you read the prompt. So let's read the prompt. The prompt is, you are an expert web developer who specializes in Tailwind CSS. The user will provide you with a low fidelity wireframe of an application. You will return a single HTML file that uses HTML, Tailwind, JavaScript to create high fidelity website. Include any extra CSS and JavaScript in the HTML file. If you have any images, load them from Unsplash and use solid color rectangles. The users will provide you with notes in blue or red text, arrows, and drawings. The user may also include images of other websites as style reference. Transfer the style as best as you can. Matching fonts, color, layouts. They may also provide you with the HTML or previous design that they want you to iterate from. Carry out any changes they request from you. In the wireframe, the previous design HTML will appear as white rectangle. Use creative license to make the application more fleshed out. Use JavaScript modules and onPackage to import any necessary dependencies. Respond only with the content of the HTML file. So this is a lot, but as you can see here, this is a very, very specific, detailed prompt to tell the AI system what to do. So again, I hope you see my point here. The point is to become better at prompting AI than to be scared that AI will take it over, because AI will only do what you tell it to do. So if you prompt it as specific as this, you're basically telling the AI to build this whole system for you. And then what you end up with, if you integrate it correctly to your application, like this app here, TL Draw, then you could have something magical, right? Like I've shared this whole thing with a lot of people, and every time they see it, they are blown away by what's generated. So here's just like, you're using it in conjunction with your application. So it's a fun way to see what ChatGPT is capable of. And with this new Vision API, you can now add vision to your application instead of just text prompts. So this is what I mean by something. So like, use it to augment your programming abilities. Use it to augment your your imagination to create applications that utilize AI to make the users lives easier, to solve people's problems, right? That's what I mean. So become a good prompt engineer rather than an AI engineer, or like creating application and be scared of AI. Be a good prompt engineer, because if you can come up with amazing prompts like this, then you can integrate that to your application, and you will only you create something amazing that someone has never seen before. Things like this, like if I was a company like a Figma or Adobe and I see something like this, I would immediately implement this in my application, because a lot of people is going to want that. If you're a designer, you're not a coder at all, but if you're a designer, like imagine this tool in the designer's hand or product person's hand. They can just come up with something, anything, and then they'll have ChatGPT generate this whole thing for you. They don't have to go to any programmers to see it. Of course, this is not good polished product. It's going to be something very basic, but it demonstrates your idea, proof of concepts. It's very useful for that. So I hope you understand what my point is to become prompt engineer and not be afraid of AI and accept it. And it's going to be part of our lives. You as a developer, our lives is going to be different with the release of AI. You just have to learn to work with it instead of be afraid of it. So let me know what you think. I hope to see you guys in the next video.